This beautiful creature here in the palm of my hand is actually the largest scorpion native to North America. This is Hadrurus arizonensis, the desert hairy scorpion. But it's just because he's so friendly. 100 kisses for a lovely creature.
My name is Jack, and for the past 4 years, I've been searching for the most painful, stinging animal on Earth. Now, I've taken the sting of some impressive ants like the bullet ant.
Yeah, it is, oh man, it's definitely worse than the tarantula hawk wasp.
Also, I've taken the stings of some gigantic wasps like the executioner wasp.
Oh, wow! Actually, that is definitely worse than the warrior wasp.
But today, I'm switching things up a bit. We're not doing an insect. No, today we are doing an arachnid sting. Let's talk about scorpions. These ancient arthropods have been walking the earth since before the time of the dinosaurs, equipped with lightning-fast, serrated claws, and their infamous stinger. These animals make formidable hunters. Scorpions are arachnids and are related to spiders, mites, and whip scorpions, and of course, many, many more species. Now today I'll be testing the sting of the largest scorpion in North America, the desert hairy scorpion. These are a massive species from the southwestern United States, and I'm interested to see just how painful their sting may be. Interested? Let's find out.
Okay, everybody, and welcome back to Jack's World of Wildlife. Now, today I'm joined by a very special guest. This beautiful creature here in the palm of my hand is actually the largest scorpion native to North America. This is Hadrurus arizonensis, the desert hairy scorpion. Now, look at the formidable pincers and, of course, that amazing stinger. Now, you might say, well, Jack, how cool, a scorpion video. But do I care about that? Well, today, folks, not only are you going to learn something about this spectacular and beautiful arachnid, you're also going to learn just how painful the sting of this spectacular desert animal really is. So, are you interested? Do I have your attention? Great. So let's see just what makes these amazing and gigantic scorpions not only unique, but what makes their sting potent in deterring predators and procuring prey. One last look. How cool is that? Let's see how bad the sting of this beautiful, beautiful arachnid is. All right, so we have our beautiful little desert hairy scorpion already rearing and ready to go. I don't expect this to be much more than a bee sting. These are not one of our more toxic species here in the United States. They're mostly relying on the size, these powerful pincers, and the venom yield to take out their prey. But let's see, without any further ado, let's check and see just how painful the sting of the desert hairy scorpion is. Let's go. Oh, careful. Come on, get in there. Come on, pal. Oh man, he's just dropping venom on my arm. He's not even penetrating it.
Do it by hand.
Oh, there he goes. Ow. Keep going, pal. Look at that stinger, though. Ouch. Ow. Yeah, kind of like a bee sting. Look at all that venom on my arm, though. He didn't really do the best job at getting under the skin. As you can see, he's pretty friendly. It does actually feel pretty red. You can start to see it's getting red. It's actually a little more painful than it was initially when it first stung me, but just as I suspected. Not too bad. Of course, he did waste a lot of venom, but they do have a lot of venom in there. So I imagine that we got a good little amount right on the vein there. I wonder if it. This is a big needle. Maybe it got all the way in there. Maybe it didn't. Doesn't really matter. But yeah, right here is where the stinger fully went in. There's a little dirt on there. You can kind of see starting to get red. Not super impressed. Really not super impressed by that. But it's just because he's so friendly. 100 kisses for a lovely creature. Well, he really didn't want to sting me, I guess. But I did get a little sting there. It's kind of like a fire ant, maybe. Let me get some of the venom off my arm. Like a fire ant, maybe a little bit worse than that, because, I mean, once again, this is a pretty large scorpion. But as you can see, they have a pretty calm demeanor. They're not too nasty. They're not too gnarly. But a lovely, lovely test nonetheless. These are such cool scorpions. Scorpions have to be some of the coolest, most primitive arthropods out there. And you can find them pretty regularly in most terrestrial ecosystems. There may not be a whole lot of diversity among scorpions depending on where you go, but some areas that are super rich with species, you can see a lot of cool diversity.
Now, something else fascinating about scorpions and other arachnids is that they can fluoresce and glow under black light. Now, how do they do this? Well, within the scorpion's exoskeleton, there is a part known as the cuticle. And within the cuticle, there is a layer known as the hyaline layer. And it is there that we answer this question. Inside the hyaline layer, there are certain components that actually absorb longer wavelengths of ultraviolet light and emit visible blue-green light. Scorpions actually use this to detect ultraviolet light at night to avoid it as much as possible. They are sneaky nocturnal predators after all. How cool is that?
Now, you might have already seen, but these scorpions are absolutely dotted with sensory hairs, and these serve quite a few different purposes. Now, number one, of course, is feel. You can see these scorpions have these lovely little eyes on top, and of course eyes down here and here above their chelicerae, which aid them in locating and figuring out where they are. But a lot of what this scorpion is doing as it's moving through the desert underneath rocks and things like that is probing around, not only with those pincers, but of course too with those hairs. And that's allowing this animal to feel spaces or to feel prey. Now, you might also see that there are a ton of hairs. In fact, the majority of the hair numbers are here on the tail. And that is because this is the iconic stinger of the scorpion. These scorpions, you always kind of associate those pinchers and stingers. They grab that prey, that stinger comes down, boom, and sticks into their prey. That is their main way of incapacitating their prey. Now, you might think, well, that's pretty formidable, but this stinger, you might also see, is pretty thin. I just wanted to pinch my finger. Pretty thin, and it can be broken by larger and stronger prey. So some of these sensory hairs also kind of keep mandibles or legs or other stingers of their prey species from getting too close to that breakable stinger. So they've got a lot of multi-purpose kind of hairs to protect themselves from a whole array of danger. Excuse me. He's just holding on, holding my hand. So cute. What a lovely little scorpion. Ah! For the thumbnail. So people are like, what happened to him? I'm like, oh gosh! This is more pain than the tiniest of paper clips jabbing into my skin. This is more pain than burning my tongue on a piece of pizza that's only slightly too hot. My skin is just not peeling off or in pain hardly at all. Just kidding, we keep it real here at JWOW. That's Jack's World of Wildlife for the new folks watching. But take a look here. This is just a few minutes after. You can see All that for a drop of blood. That stinger's big, so there was a lot of mechanical damage there. You could really feel that stinger go in. I mean, take a look at that stinger, folks. But you can see a little bit of inflammation. I think there maybe was a few little tiny little under the skin envenomations as well. But this is where the stinger for sure went in. That's where I for sure felt that pain. I would say less than a bee sting, but that's saying, I mean, this guy really wasn't interested in stinging. I bet if you got a full venom load, it would have hurt a little bit more. But I mean, I just could not get that stinger to go through the skin. These stingers are really big, much larger than things that I'm normally doing, like wasps and ants, which just slide in so easily. They're so small. But some of these larger stingers or fangs can have some trouble breaking the skin. But some decent little inflammation there. Nothing too bad to report, but like I said, these are amazing arthropod predators. So what they're doing in the deserts is when they come across prey, they need to incapacitate it because they don't know when the next time they're going to run across something that they can eat is. So what they're doing is they're grabbing it with those sharp pincers, and they're actually serrated. They've got some little bits and pieces within those pincers that help grasp onto even smooth exoskeletons of their prey, and they're able to kind of slide this stinger either under the soft underbelly or in the chink of the insect's armor or arachnid's armor, and able to incapacitate their prey. So a lot of people don't realize that although these animals are adapted to use a sting in defense, really the primary reason for their sting and their venom is to procure prey. So a lot of these animals, their venom is incredibly potent to invertebrates, to insects and arachnids and things like that, whereas it's not really that dangerous to mammals because they really just need to tell mammals, hey, don't mess with me, I'm gonna hurt you, it's gonna sting a little bit if you get too close to me, but they're not really interested in killing or hunting mammals, so they don't need certain elements and enzymes and components to actually attack a mammal's physiology and biology. But you can see here, it did look like it went a little bit under the skin here. There's a little red bump, but there's some pretty good inflammation there. It's getting a little tight. It's not too bad, but once again, this was a great little test subject. Let me see if I can get him onto my arm here. He's just happy to chill. Super relaxed little scorpion. Why don't you come on out? Come on, pal. You can see this is not an aggressive animal by any means. Kind of manhandling him a little bit. Look at that. Oh, too cool. Like I said, this is our largest species here in the United States. You can actually see a little drop of venom still on the tip of that stinger. Okay, so we didn't exhaust his resources, looks like. He's still got a little bit in there. But like I said, this animal's got a ton of venom packed in that stinger. They're mostly relying on the volume to overwhelm their prey, not so much toxicity, which is important to remember. A lot of people say, oh, it's a great rule of thumb. The bigger the scorpion, the less dangerous it is. However, there are plenty of lethally dangerous scorpions that are about this size. Luckily, none in the United States, but there are some very toxic scorpions in Africa that do get about this size. So that's not always a great rule of thumb. Just because it's little doesn't mean it's super toxic. We have a ton of very small and eclectic species here in the United States that aren't anywhere near the level of toxicity as some of those other species. But we do have some pretty toxic ones here in the States, which we are very glad that they are limited by their size. But one last look at this beautiful, beautiful desert hairy scorpion. I think we're gonna let him rest. Let him relax, let him develop some more toxins, and maybe get him something to eat. But super, super cool. One last look. Pretty good swelling there, or inflammation, I should say. I would say that's on par with a lot of the other kind of inflammation sites that we see with some of the wasps or bees or ants or whatever. But like I said, the pain just really wasn't there. So I don't have many scorpion tests, so this is an interesting one to add. Maybe we'll add a few more before year's end. But this was a great little test with a great little friend. One last lovely kiss for our Desert Hairy. Stay tuned. I'm going to keep updating and see what happens. Maybe my arm will blow up like a blimp. Maybe it won't. You won't know unless you watch till the end. But thanks for tuning in for the sting segment, and I'll see you in a little bit with an update. Too cool. Well, folks, here we are about 5 minutes after. Right here we got the side of the sting, I should say. Nice inflammation, some red color, but not too shabby, as they say. But yeah, not too bad. No pain at all, just some inflammation. So definitely worse than the tarantula hawk.
By a bit.
Okay, here we are a few hours after the desert hairy scorpion sting. You can see a lot of red, some inflammation. It's actually pretty sore, and it's super warm to the touch, which is pretty neat. But I don't see it doing much more than this. It might itch a little bit tomorrow, but I think this is the full extent of the desert hairy scorpion. All right, folks, take a look at this. This is the day after, and you can see just how much more swollen my arm is from the desert hairy scorpion. I'm gonna go ahead and assume that this is just the pure result of the yield of the scorpion. Look at all that. I mean, speckling. This is some discoloration here. I mean, look at that. Some impressive inflammation. And so I guess I'm just really surprised because the sting itself was not nearly as painful as some of the other stings I've experienced. But this inflammation is somewhat on par with the inflammation I experienced in my Asian forest scorpion video, if you remember that. So maybe this is just kind of a characteristic of scorpion stings. I've not taken very many scorpion stings in particular, so it'll be interesting as we add more to the diversity of the sting and bite videos on the channel to see if this is a regular thing with scorpion stings. But once again, take a look. You can see this whole area, which was the center of that sting test, is discolored. It's a little tougher here as well, a little tighter, but that's pretty good. That's some serious inflammation. All the way up here too. That's a lot. Wow, super impressive, very interesting. I guess we'll see how long this takes for this inflammation to go down. Other than that, it's a little itchy, but not too shabby, not too bad, not painful anymore at all. But here we are about 5 days after. No itching anymore, no inflammation. Nothing really out of the ordinary. I think we're all good. Lighting in here makes it look a little weird, but I think that is the main sting area, that little spot. But yeah, pretty normal now. Well, by now, y'all all at home have probably seen the full extent of the desert hairy scorpion. I know it might have been a bit, what's the word, anticlimactic, but it's still another one of the amazing sting and bite videos that you all so enjoy. So thank you for watching today. I hope you enjoyed me getting hurt yet again for your education and entertainment. And hopefully it wasn't too boring. I don't know, some guy's flying his plane during my outro. It's whatever, I'll keep it in, no shame. One cut, one shot wonder, that's what they call me. So we won't worry about fixing that at all. So you at home, pretend like you've never heard a plane in your life, and that is the call of a beautiful and exotic bird. Or maybe I added that sound in the music underlying the audio because I just wanted to do a little plane sound bit. You'll never know. It's for me to know and for you to never find out. But thanks so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. I know I'm sweaty. You can see starting to bleed through the sick merch. Make sure you buy it, sweat not included. You of course can add your own sweat later on, but my sweat will not be coming with any of the merchandise. Sorry to disappoint. If you like this video, watch all my other videos. I have over 200 other videos for you to watch. If you're seeing this, if you made it all the way to the end, this is actually a legally binding contract. You actually have to watch through every single one of my previous videos. Something bad will happen. I can't guarantee that it'll be lethal or non-lethal or just kind of dangerous. I can't tell you exactly what will happen. It'll be different for every person. I do have kind of a remote squadron in different quadrants of the United States that kind of carry out my will for if you break your legal contract. But be sure to like and comment and watch all my other videos, of course, if you don't want anything bad to happen to you. If you're like me, I don't like bad things to happen to me, so I do what I say to myself. So thank you for watching. Be sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe, of course. Buy the new merch, it's pretty sick. Once again, sweat not included. And of course, turn on post notifications if you don't want to miss anything else. We also have a Patreon and YouTube memberships that you can subscribe to help fund more trips. Also a great idea if you don't want anything bad to happen to you. And above all else, tune in next time for the next episode of Jack's World of Wildlife, because you don't want to miss anything else I'm putting out. Once again, I cannot stress this enough, just to make sure nothing bad happens to you. So thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. Please do the safe thing and keep watching.